there. I hope your day's going fantastic. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, I have a fun project to share with you. My project's actually for a blog hop, Pinkfresh Studio, celebrating their brand new release. I hope you can join us for the blog hop. There's lots and lots of inspiration with this fun release. And today we're going to use the Cheers stamp set. I just think this is so fun because I recently have a new drink favorite, and it's called an Aperol Spritzer. So this looks just like it. So I thought we would make an Aperol Spritzer card for my card today. There's the coordinating Cheers die set that we'll be using to cut out our greeting. It actually cuts out two of the larger greetings and the stamp set, and all the images. And then we're going to be using the STENCIL to color in our spritzer. So let's jump in and do some stamping. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner and some white cardstock. I'm going to stamp this twice because I'm not sure if I want I'm not sure if I want 2 drinks or 1 drink. So I'm going to stamp 2 of these on some white cardstock. I'm going to be using my Metropolis ink to stamp my images. We'll go ahead and ink these up and stamp them, and they stamp beautifully. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and then we're going to stamp one more panel. While we're at it, we're going to stamp our greeting, and I'm going to stamp Cheers, and I'm going to stamp the greeting that says drinks are best when mixed with friends. I'm going to stamp Cheers with Pinkfresh Studio's Mimosa ink. And then we're going to stamp it once more, adding a gradient with candy apple. So I'm just going to go over the bottom, kind of fade up a little bit, and we'll stamp this. So you can see it has that two-tone. For my sub-sentiment, I'm going to be using my Metropolis ink. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to bring in our grit mat, and let's do some stenciling. I'm going to line up my first stencil, and then I'm going to place it in the corner of my grit mat here. This way it will make it easier when I add the rest of them. We're going to start off with Mimosa. I'm going to use my blending brush here. I'm using Pinkfresh Studio's 1/2" blending brush. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm kind of going to skip over the ice cubes that are on here. I'm going to lightly go over them. Like so. I'm going to wipe off my stencil, and then we're going to bring in a light green ink. Let's bring in fresh Pear, and we'll add some color to our leaves. Now we have 2 panels today, and I'm going to do the second panel off camera just to save a little bit of time. Lovely. I'm going to go ahead and place stencil number 2. We're going to start with our second layer of the leaves. I'm using Eucalyptus ink. Let's go ahead and add this. Let's go ahead and add passion fruit here. Let's take a look. Looks delicious so far. For stencil number 3, I'm going to keep passion fruit, and I'm going to go over the strawberry and the cherry here. I'll go ahead and wipe off my stencil. For the straw, I thought we'd bring in a little bit of yellow. Using the brush that I used with my passion fruit, I'm going to go over the edges, just adding a little two-tone to my flower, and then I'm also going to darken up the straw down here, kind of fade up. Okay, let's wipe off the stencil and take a look. Let's go ahead and bring in stencil number 4. Stencil number 4, I'm bringing in Candy Apple, and I'm going to go over the cherry, and I'm going to go as dark as I can with it, just so it's nice and highlighted. And I'm going to go over the flower here too. I'm going to add it to the straw also. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off. The section of the drink that we didn't color in, I'm bringing back my Clementine ink, and I'm going to go as dark as I can with it. Let's wipe this off, and let's take a look. Wonderful. Okay, let's go bring in stencil number 5. Stencil number 5 has our citrus, and I'm going to mix lemon whip and mimosa together, starting off with lemon whip since it's our lightest. Let's go ahead and add. This is going to be an orange, but I do want to have some yellow highlights to it. So there's our lemon whip, and then we're going to bring in mimosa. Now we have our last layer, layer 6. This has the ice cubes too, and we're going to do the ice cubes in gray. We're going to go over our orange with Clementine. We'll do the wedge also. Just so that my ice cubes stand out a little bit, I'm going to use Misty Coast, and we're going to add just a little bit of color to these ice cubes, just so they stand out against the white background. And that will finish off our first panel. I just love the way this turns out. Super fun. Okay, we're gonna put this to the side. I'll be right back with another panel just like this with our greeting that's on it. I didn't want 2 drinks exactly the same, so basically using the same colors I used, but more of the candy apple and more of the passion fruit. I created more of a cherry or strawberry drink with it. So we're ready to die cut. I'm going to take the coordinating die, and I'll just die cut out all of my images, and then I want to share with you a brand new die cut. This is the twist pattern die. This is meant to coordinate with the twist pattern press plate. You can see it leaves some fabulous stripes. Let me show you the back. So you could break out your better press and use this, or you could even foil with this also. But I like the way this looks by itself. So this is a great standalone die too. So I'm going to die cut this out. I'm going to die cut this out 3 times with white cardstock and create a background pattern with this. And then while we're die cutting, I'm going to take my folk edge circles. I'm going to take the second die from the set, and using a pale gray cardstock. It's not much, it's really light gray. I'm going to die cut this out. And then the next size smaller, I'm going to die cut out a panel with white cardstock. We're going to layer these together for the background, and this is where I might stamp this sentiment. We'll see. So I'm going to run everything through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. Once we have everything die cut out, we're going to take our twist pattern, and just using my glue, I want a little bit of dimension for my background. So we're going to stack all 3 of these together. This is, if you want to put foam tape behind here and just die cut out 1, you could do that. But I think the stability that die cutting out 3 is going to add is going to be really nice. It's going to give the card base a real solid feel. We'll just stack all of these. And you can, it gives it a little bit of dimension, but not too much. Okay, and then I'm also going to take my folk edge circle, and we're going to layer this on our background, which is that light gray. Okay, now I want to put a background, a colorful background behind here. So we're going to put everything to the side and do a little bit of ink blending. Now I have 3 inks that we're going to use to fill in our background, and we're just going to create a gradient from dark to light, from candy apple to mimosa to peach fuzz. And I'm just going to use some blending brushes for this. Starting off with candy apple, we're going to add this to the very bottom. Okay, I removed my grip mat because I really want these edges to be darkened, and I'm going to do it directly on my glass mat. I'm using my detail black ink and just going over the edges. Wonderful. I'm going to take this panel and we're going to adhere it to the front of an A2 size card base, and I'm just going to glue it with some glue. Now my background kind of seems dramatic, but once you put white over the top, it just transforms it. It just makes that white background pop. You'll see here when I add this. I have a little bit of glue here, so I'm just going to use my sand eraser to remove it. I'm going to next take my circle. We're going to add glue behind here, and we're going to put this right in the middle. Okay, now we're going to take our drinks next. And I'm going to crisscross them. Now I cut a slice in my orange wedge, and I thought we would put it on the glass. I'm going to add a little glue behind here, and then we're going to add our wedge. And I put foam tape behind this one, and this one I'm going to tuck underneath one of my drinks. I'm going to actually fishtail this side. Now I'm going to add my cherries. I'm going to add both of them. We'll just put some foam tape behind here, and I'm going to kind of overlap them down here on the bottom. We have plenty of fruit left over. You could embellish the inside if you wanted to, but I think this is going to work out great. I'm bringing in my glossy accents, and I'm going to go over the ice cubes just to add a little extra shine. We'll go over our wedge too. And then I'm going to finish off my card with my Pinkfresh Studio GLACIER jewels. We're just going to add a few. Since we have a lot going on, we're just going to add a few. Okay. And that will finish off my card project for today. I hope you enjoyed my project, and I hope you get a chance to check out the Pinkfresh Studio Blog Hop. Links are down below along with all the supplies that I used. Have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.